Hey guys, it's Autumn Rain back with a new episode of Beyond the Record, and today I have rising R&B singer Nick here with me. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So we're gonna get started with talking about your beginnings. Like, how did you get started with music?
It's kind of an interesting story, I guess, because like I started making music like real young, like when I was like 11, 12.
Oh
Like
wow.
my grandfather had taught me how to play the piano. And I just got like super obsessed with like music and just kind of like, trying to be a producer and stuff. Cause I was really trying to be like a producer at first,
Oh
when I was
wow.
young and just making beats or whatever. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. So like, I was just kind of trying any and everything, you know what I mean? So, but like I always could sing and stuff like that, but I was always too nervous to kind of like put myself in the forefront, you know what I mean? So it wasn't really until like after high school, I think, like after high school that I kind of felt like I had something to say, I guess. And that was the other thing too,
Mm.
like I was like thinking about other artists and stuff like that, and I'm like, yo, I don't know how to write a song. Like I don't know, like because at that time I'm thinking that like everybody's writing their own songs. Like I don't know that there's such thing as like a songwriter or like people to help you, like you know what I mean. So I'm just like,
Mhm.
I don't know how to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So but like so it wasn't really like after high school like I kind of like sprung up the courage to like write a song about what I was doing with this little girl in high school, whatever. So like you know what I mean, so like just just stuff like that. So so it was kind of started off like that, like kind of innocent, more or less, like just putting stuff on SoundCloud, not really telling people that I'm really doing it, like you know what I mean, because I was
Mhm.
in college and I was playing football and stuff like that, so I was just, I
Oh.
was trying to keep it low key. um but it wasn't really until after like I got to a point where I was done playing football. I was like, graduated from college, you know what I mean, and getting into my career, and I was just kind of like, I kind of want something different. Like I kind of want more from my life. And my homies kept telling me like, yo, like you need to, if you take music seriously, like we think you could really do something. And at the time I was kind of like, nah, like I don't know, like I don't know. But I think like my friends really kind of pushed me to that point to like really take it seriously. And then after that I like quit my job and moved back home to Raleigh and just kind of started cranking out music and just trying to do what I can. So that's kind of how it kind of came about. So
Wow. No, I didn't know any of that. So I'm glad you
yeah,
shared that.
yeah. It's a lot because it's a lot of this and a lot of like moving around and trying to figure out what I want, trying to figure out how I can pursue music, but also like live my life, like because like you
Yeah.
start not making music independently, like you ain't making no money. So it's like you gotta. And the worst part about it is I started when COVID happened.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's like it was the worst timing ever. Like it was so bad. Like I moved because I was living in Texas at the time too. So like
Okay.
I moved from Texas all the way back to North Carolina, not really knowing how serious COVID was and what was going on because I was just kind of like I was working and busy, so I wasn't really paying attention. And then the day I was supposed to move, that's when they had locked everything down, told everybody staying in the house. And I was like, I think it's serious. I was like, I think I might have, I think I might have made a bad. I think it's a bad idea, but I made it work. I ended up moving in with like my best friend and some other people that we know from high school, and we just lived in a house in Raleigh. And I was cranking out music from the basement and just doing my thing. So yeah,
Wow. But that's a lot. Like, so what did you major in college?
and graphic design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I was a graphic design major. At first I was kind of going into that field, like graphic design, illustration, stuff like that, and like I was working in sports, so which kind of seemed like the easier transition because I played football and then I went from football to working in sports. So it just kind of seemed it was all easy, like you know what I mean. I mean, I
Yeah.
was I was good at what I did, but it just wasn't really fulfilling me that much. So I got to a point where I was like, I don't know if I can do this till I'm 35, 40. Like I don't, I want something a little more solid to, stand on. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. Like I majored in like media communications, but
mm,
that major is just so broad. So like you can
right,
literally do anything with it. Like I have like my old classmates became teachers, working in publishing, like
right.
news. There's just so much you can do, and you should do something that fulfills you at the end of the day because it's your life,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So who were some artists that you grew up listening to?
Um, it's kind of a mixed bag because
Okay.
both of my parents are pastors. So like
Oh, cool.
growing up, they didn't let us listen to rap in the house. So like yeah, like so I couldn't listen to rap or like uncensored R&B and stuff like that. So like early on, I was really on listening to what was on the radio and like what I heard on TV. So like I was listening to a lot of like pop and rock and stuff like that because like R&B and rap was more or less inappropriate. Like you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I was heavy in my Fall Out Boy bag, in my Green Day bag,
I
and my
love Green
Paramore
Day.
bag. Like you know what I mean? So like I
Yeah.
was in a whole different lane. Like you know what I mean? But it wasn't until like my older brother, he started like getting a whole bunch of like mixtapes because like
Uh-huh.
back in the day, well, back in the day, I'm kind of showing my age now, but when
Yeah, no, we're
when
probably like the
people
same age. Yeah.
when people had like actually like CDs and stuff like that, like my older brother, he would have like girls make him like CDs and mixtapes and playlists of like all this music. So I would be chilling with my brother, and then I would listen to like Lil Wayne and T.I. and like and people like that. So I really gravitated towards like more rap and R&B, like really because of my older brother, because I would only get to listen to it around him and stuff like that. So that really kind of sparked like my obsession of like finding new music and like, coming home after school, going on like Dat Piff and hot new hip hop and stuff like that. I was obsessed. Like I was just trying to be that dude in school who knew all the new music, like you know what I mean? So I was
Uh,
still like a really big like Chris Brown fan, especially like back in the day. And like I said, like Lil Wayne and T-Pain and a lot of Usher and a lot of John Legend and stuff like that. Um, but I know like recently like it's changed. Like I know my inspirations and people I listen to kind of change all the time, but
uh-huh.
recently it's like been like more Frank Ocean, like SZA and Smino and J. Cole and stuff like that. So
Those are my faves.
yeah, yeah.
Love all no, those are no, those are my people. I feel like J. Cole really was like same thing with you kind of. Like I listened to like R&B kind of at home, but
Mhm.
I think high school I kind of got my own like musical identity and I
Right.
kind of like just start like look like you like going on the internet and just like finding out who's dropping this or whatever and like
Hmm.
that's when I kind of like fell in love with like J. Cole's sound because I love the storytelling in his music.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm big for that. So what are some songs from like your own discography that you would tell like new listeners to listen to first?
Probably Tea Leaves first because that's like my most popular song, and that's kind of like what got me to where I am now, which
Hmm.
is pretty cool. Um, but even some of like my older songs from like my EP So Far So Great, like I think Mimosas is still a really cool song, and Mushu is still a really cool song. And then like off of my recent project that just came out, like I know I really like Bad, I really like Surface and New Growth. I think Lemon Lime is a sleeper song that a lot of people
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have expected. But yeah, I really like that one. So yeah, I have like a handful of favorites that I've made over the past couple of years. So
I was gonna talk about Lemon Lime too, but we're gonna talk about your new like EP, but I just dropped. But just like Lemon Lime for a second, like that one when you said that you listened to like Green Day, like Fall Out Boy
yeah,
growing up, that's like immediately what I thought of.
that's where I came from. Yeah, that's where I came from.
Oh, I love that. I love that because I immediately thought of that. I was like, because I don't know about you, but I listen to like albums like from top to bottom, like all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time, right? So, when I finally got to that one, was what you closed the EP with. I'm just like, yo, this is really giving like Fall Out Boy, Green
right.
Day, like, oh, I love that. So how would you describe your sound in 3 words?
Three words. Um, I would say uh honest. I would say definitely it's hard.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. You're good. You're good.
um I would say honest, versatile, and mm, a vibe. You know what I mean? That's all I can really say. Honest, versatile, and just a vibe. You know what I mean?
I love that. Uh, so your wordplay, I think, is amazing. So how can you take me from like from writing to the studio to the for your final project? Like, how does that process look
Yeah.
for you?
That yes, it's interesting that you ask because like I've been wanting to kind of like show more people my process, but I guess I just kind of like overthink a little bit because I just kind of feel like it doesn't look that interesting to me in my head, like because I'm usually
Mm,
like here in my crib like writing by myself or just like with my phone in my hand just kind of like pacing back and forth like just writing. But like I think as I was when I first started, I really wanted to be a really good songwriter. It was
uh-huh.
just kind of like a goal of mine, and one of the things that I did to help was like I studied rap, like really because I was like I want to be a really good writer, and I feel like the best writers are rappers.
Yeah,
um
for sure.
so I really would just kind of was just studying rap and listening to like the people who I thought were the best rappers, my favorite rappers and stuff like that. And it kind of just opened my eyes a little bit to how I can articulate, the things I'm going through or what I'm feeling at the time. So I definitely think it was a process, like because I think like my writing now is obviously definitely a lot better than like my first project, and that's kind of what I wanted to show between my first project and this one was just kind of the growth that I've had. um but yeah, I take a lot of pride in writing and kind of just writing on my own and stuff like that because it's not really easy being trying to be vulnerable but then also trying to make something sound catchy and so people
Yeah.
digest it, like what I mean. So
Hmm.
it's a struggle sometimes, but like I'm glad I'm able to like figure it out and crank out some stuff that sounds good. So
Yeah, I think you should definitely record that process. It'll be good, like BTS. Like, I feel like your
hmm
core fans would really like appreciate that. I know I would at least. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I might be a nerd, but like, I like stuff like that. Like, if J. Cole like went and he did kind of did a documentary like a
Oh
minute.
yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
hmm
seeing stuff like that.
Right,
So
right.
I think you should definitely do it.
For sure, for sure.
You gotta do it. So I want to talk about Tea Leaves because
Mhm.
that got so much attention online, like
Yeah.
streamers and everything. So how did you feel once that song just like got so much so much attention? Like how did you like process all of that?
It was interesting. Like it was kind of weird because like when I had made tea leaves like a while ago. I
Okay.
had made it like when I first moved to LA like almost 2 years ago. But
Mm.
now I live in Arizona now. But
Oh, cool.
so it was a little strange because like I went through so many like ups and downs with that song, and like the first version of it does not sound like the version that's out right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like because originally Tea Leaves was a part of a whole different song that I made that ended up getting scrapped, and it was like this beat switch, and then it went to Tea Leaves or whatever. But then I just decided to keep the Tea Leaves part and make it into his own song. Um, so it was kind of weird because I was building up for that and building up for the project and stuff like that, and it kind of just wasn't getting any traction. It wasn't really, you know what I mean? I was posting every day and posting on TikTok and stuff like that, but it wasn't really until the day or two before it dropped, like I started seeing a little bit of jump, like a little bit of love on TikTok and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Like that's something. Like it was like 10,000 likes or something like that. I was
Oh,
like, okay,
nice.
like I was like, all right, I'm kind of cooking a little bit. I was like, all right. so so then after that, like I thought, like, cause I'm obviously like trying to figure it out as I go. So like I'm like, okay, cool. Like I post tea leaves, maybe my other songs will go too. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like posting the other songs and stuff, not knowing that like, okay, I should have posted tea leaves like more immediately after that. But I'm
Uh-huh.
posting the other songs thinking that they're gonna do just as well. They're not doing as well all the way.
Uh-huh.
Um,
That's
and
all
it was
right.
maybe like 4 or 5 months after I dropped, and I'm getting ready for like the project to come out. Um, and one of my manager's homies who does TikTok, like him and his girlfriend, are
Uh-huh.
kind of like famous on TikTok a little bit.
Okay.
He kind of told me, he was like, "Yo, I'm telling you, if you just post tea leaves like 100, like you post that like 20 more times, it's gonna go." And I was like, oh, I ain't trying to like OD, like I don't want to like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, eh. But my manager was like, bro, just do it. Like just do it and see what happens, right? And it didn't take long. Like it didn't even take for me to post it 20. I think I posted like maybe 5 times like in a row. And then like after the fifth time, that was when like it started going crazy. And it was funny because like it was an old video that I made. Like it was a repost. Like it wasn't even like a new post.
Oh
Um
wow.
yeah, so then over the weekend, like it just started getting more and more traction. I wasn't really paying attention at first, and then me and my manager were actually out like shooting more videos for Tea Leaves, and he was like, "Yo, he was like, yo, you seen your TikTok?" And I was like, "Nah, I ain't really checking." I checked, and it was like 250,000 likes or like 250,000 views or whatever, and I was just like, "Hey, yo!" I was like, "Yo, yo, yo, yo!" So I was like, "What is going on?" So then yeah, so it was just kind of crazy because it just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. Um, and I was just kind of like dumbfounded because I didn't really know what that meant like after the fact. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then all these labels started calling me and all
Yeah.
these people started asking me all these questions, and I was like, look, I was like, relax, okay, relax. Like in the span of 2 weeks. I had like 12 labels call me in the span of 2 weeks. Like every day it was somebody new. Me and my manager talking to somebody new every single day. Um
Dang.
so yeah, it was definitely a crazy process, but like I'm super grateful that like because they kind of felt like I finally was able to like get heard and finally able to kind of like for people to see that like okay like oh he's he got something going on over here, like let's pay attention to him a little bit, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it was really dope. It was really dope.
Yeah, no, I love that because I heard the song when it first came out and then before and I was just like, yo, this is the same guy that I listened to. And I was just like I was just so happy for you from like the
Yeah.
outside. I was just like, yo, I'm so happy for you because like I think you're immensely talented. So
Thank
this
you.
is
Thank
just
you.
like time coming for you. So
Right. Yeah. That's what I was. And it's kind of just ironic just because of the things I was saying in the song, and then
uh-huh.
that just so happened to be the song that blew up, and I was just like, okay, God, you want to be funny, like, you know what I mean, like. So yeah, it was super dope. So yeah, I'm just kind of rolling off of that and just dealing with all these like new fans and new people coming in and people who still like to this day are like, yo, I just heard Tea Leaves, or yo, I just are like, you know what I mean, are coming
Yeah.
in now. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's we're gonna start talking about your newest EP that just dropped. Things are quite different too. So that has surface, new growth, bad. So what message do you want to convey to your fans with this project?
Really just like because I'm kind of a literal person, so like the name of the project is really what's going on. Like things are quite different, you know what I mean? So
Uh,
that's kind of really what I wanted to show, and I wanted to show how much I've grown between the first project. The first things are quite different from now because I was almost 4 going on almost 5 years ago. And
wow.
I've been through so much and grown so much, not only as an artist but just as a person. So I just kind of, want people to see that and hear it, like you know what I mean. And because, with the first project, I made that my parents, attic and mixing it by myself, grabbing beats off of YouTube and stuff like that. So like, you know what I mean. But like, we're definitely not in that space anymore. Like, you know what I mean. So I just want people to kind of know that. So that's just kind of where I was at with it.
Okay, okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So with your track listing, which we talked about a little bit, how did you figure out the order for your songs?
Um, it's like I kind of more or less off of a feeling than like a actual strategy because like not all these were made like necessarily at the same time.
Okay.
But I think like because I had a lot more songs than just these seven that I put out. But I
Yeah.
think but I think I kind of got to a point where it was like, okay, I feel like these are the ones that I should put out. Like these are the ones that make the most sense to me, and these are the ones I feel like show the most growth between, then and now. Um, so and I also kind of wanted it to feel like a album in a way,
Uh-huh.
even though it's so short, but I kind of want to feel like, okay, this is kind of a little like a sneak peek of what I would do if I had, once I do make an album or whatever. So yeah, so I wanted to start it off like with Surface, something super like, emotional or super like, just kind of me just saying how I feel, no drums, and something like that. um and then kind of just switching it up, going straight to like the rap, right after that. Like, I kind of just wanted to show people the different kind of, ebbs and flows of just who I am, like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't necessarily like a specific strategy. It was just something that kind of just felt right.
Okay, that's good too, because all the times I think like you don't need to have like a story to go with it. I'd
Right, right.
rather you can like I said, I can listen that from top to bottom and it sounds really good. Like I don't have to like skip around and stuff like that. So I
Mm.
appreciate that for me because I don't have to like skip. So so let's talk about the visual you did for Bad, which I feel
Mhm.
like it's gonna be a lot of people's like favorites on the album too. So
Yeah.
uh, take me through that process of how you created this music video because you have a lot of scenes in there too.
Yeah, yeah, it was a lot. Probably the biggest music video I've ever done. So
Uh-huh.
it was super dope and like a really good learning experience too, because I've never been like a part of a production that big. I shot it with my homie Cosmic, who's done a lot of work for a lot of like big artists, and he's like really, really dope with directing and editing and stuff like that. So I knew about him like a while ago because even when I first started making music in Raleigh and stuff like that, just because he worked with a lot of North Carolina artists. So that's
Uh-huh.
kind of how I knew who he was. But then he kind of just blew up like over the over the past couple of years, and he's doing videos for like Don Tolliver and Megan Trainor and all these types of other people. Yeah, like it was great, crazy,
Dang.
crazy work, crazy, crazy. So yeah, so like it's dope just because like we have mutual friends and stuff like that. And one of our mutual friends, Trent the Hooligan, who I have songs with, yeah, he kind of like, introduced us like officially and stuff like that. So, once we linked up, I got to talk to him about like my new project and what I had going on and stuff like that. So we kind of just bounced ideas around at first because I didn't really have like a set like idea for this music video.
Uh-huh.
I more or less just kind of wanted him to like have creative freedom. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that like the essence of the song or like the concept of the song is just kind of is clear throughout the video.
Yeah,
So
for
he kind
sure.
of did like the heavy lifting with the concept and just storyboarding and stuff like that. I mean, I more or less just showed up and looked good and try to do my little part. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I really give all the credit to him and his crew that he had out there. With all the lighting and stuff like that. It was super dope.
Oh yeah, no, it's a really, really good music video. So if you guys haven't seen it already, you need to check it out. So do you have a favorite song on the EP?
Uh that's hard. I feel like it changes like every day, low key. But
Really?
yeah, like for a while it was bad. Like I think like even before it came out, I was listening to Bad in my car like every single day. Like I was like, yo, people don't like this. I don't know what. I don't know what
It's a good
I'm
song.
doing. People don't like this, man. I don't know what I'm doing. But I think right now, like I think right now it's between Lemon Lime and the interlude, I think.
It's
But
really Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's between Lemon Lime and the interlude. That are my favorites right now.
Yeah, lemon lime is definitely a different, I think, sound from you. And that's what
Yeah,
I was talking about before. Yeah, I think this project showcases all of your versatility and stuff. So, yeah, but that interlude's fire. It's
thank
so
you.
fire. It's so fire. Uh, so what can we look forward to as fans, like moving forward with this project? Do you expect to have like more music videos or like maybe go on tour or something?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So what
Um, So, like, I mean, I'm definitely want to do more visuals. Like, me and my manager was actually just having a conversation today about what we were going to do moving forward as far as like, new visuals and kind of just like a new strategy on social media and stuff like that, just to kind of, continue to try to change it up and get new fans and stuff like that. Um, it's funny because Cosmic actually, when we were ending the bad music video, he was like, "Yo, I low key, we should do a." He was like, "We should do a video for New Growth." And I was like, oh, I was like, I mean, hey, if you wanna run it, let's run it. Like I got a problem. So that might be in the works soon. Like and it would be dope if I could do that because I really like that song too. So yeah, definitely planning more visuals. People on social media are asking me like every day like when I'm gonna perform and when I'm gonna be on tour, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Like I'm like, I wish I could give y'all a date or something, but like, touring ain't free and neither is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing about that. So, but we definitely got some things in the works, like some appearances on some different platforms and stuff that I'm hoping will be good and just kind of keep pushing the new music and stuff. So that's just kind of where we are right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I can understand why fans are annoying you with like,
Yeah,
please tour,
like
please have a live show. Open for someone. Like, if you were to open for someone, like, who would you want to open for?
oh, that's a good question because I would open for a lot of people. Anybody on tour right now? Just I'm open for anybody right now.
Slide in his
Shoot.
DMs, yeah.
But I think like my ideal or like my dream like would be if J. Cole was on tour and
Oh
I could
yeah.
open for J. Cole, or if I could do Dreamville Fest. Like I really want to do Dreamville Fest so bad.
Yes.
Because that's like, you know what I mean? That's my city. Like it's
Yeah, that's your
that's my thing,
home.
you know what I mean? So I'm just like, y'all can't not, you know. But so I think J. Cole would be really dope. I think opening for like Lucky Day or like a Smino or somebody. I think that would be really, really dope.
Yeah, for sure.
If SZA gets back on tour and wants to and hit my line, that would be awesome. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people who yeah, I would want to do that with.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. I think you at Dreamville is would be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I need it. I need
J.
it.
Cole better go on tour next year though. Like he
Yeah,
keeps
I'm hoping.
teasing his
I'm hoping so. I mean,
album.
because
Like, come
like the
on.
album's supposed to be coming soon, so yeah, I'm hoping he goes on tour next year. Because I've been seeing a lot of I've been seeing a lot of people like in concert recently out here. I just saw Anderson .Paak. It was really really
Oh,
dope. So yeah,
nice.
hoping J Cole goes on tour soon.
He better.
Yeah.
So where can we follow you to look forward to your possible tour or live appearances and new music?
Just on the socials, on Instagram, on TikTok, at Nick No K underscore. I think this should be the same on TikTok. I know on Twitter it's underscore Nick No K, so NICNOKAY. But yeah, so just keep staying tapped in, and I'll definitely tell everybody when I have a performance and or go on tour. I'm gonna make a big deal out of it. Y'all ain't gonna hear the last of me if I'm not going on tour. So that yeah, y'all definitely will know.
Yes, come to like New York or something. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure, for
New
sure.
York. Okay. So we're gonna move on to our hot topic. We're gonna talk about Nick's new song, New Growth, and kind of just like how the song represents like people just like not believing in you at first. So Tell me a little bit about that, maybe like how you came up with the concept of that song a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. So that song, I wrote that song the day I got signed to Alamo. So like I signed my distro did at Alamo, and I wrote that song that day because I
Oh
was just
yeah.
like, yeah, I was just in it. Like I was just in my little mode. And I was like, nah, I gotta get this off because this is like a big thing for
Oh
me and my
yeah.
friends and me and the people who really believed in me and stuff like that. Cause before that and before Tea Leaves, caught, it was crickets. Like, you know what I'm saying? So so it was a really dope moment. So I kind of more or less made it for me and my friends, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of like this moment that I know that we can all kind of go back to and be like, yeah, this was the moment that, you know what I mean? Like that shit kind of turned around. So that's kind of where it came from and like where the lyrics came from and stuff. Cause once I signed, and that little check hit, I was like, yeah, I'm glad.
But yeah, I think a lot of people can like obviously like not everyone's not in music or whatever, but just like in life too, I think it has a good like life lesson,
Mhm.
in that
Right.
song. And I always think about I just saw this repost of this video, and every time she reposts it, I'm gonna repost it of Issa Rae when she talks about like networking across. And
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's what this song is about. It's kind of like just using like your network to just like grow and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, that's really what it was, and just kind of like leaning on the people who, kind of believe in you the most, even when you don't believe in
Yeah.
yourself like that. Because there was been plenty of times, even now, like where I have like the self doubt or like the imposter syndrome kind of thing setting
Yeah.
in, and my excuse me, and my friends are like, bro, no, like you got it. Like just keep going, just keep doing what you gotta do and don't worry about what other people saying, don't worry about what the numbers looking like. Just just keep going. So yeah, so it was really dope to be able to have that kind of just, moment and stuff like that. So I'm praying for more moments like that, in the
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you talk about imposter syndrome. I think the same thing because imposter syndrome is crazy because you're literally doubting something that you're currently doing. Like, you're
Yeah,
like,
honestly, yeah.
people have already validated me that like I'm good at like X thing, and I'm just like, nah, I don't deserve to be here. And I'm just like, what? Like,
Yeah,
no
it's crazy.
sense.
I do the same thing to myself all the time, like, because I get comments and stuff like that from people on Instagram all the time. But then even still, I find myself, here just being like, ah, man, like, do people even really like this stuff? Am I really going, like, is it good? Is it as good as I think it is? Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's definitely tough, especially, um, as an artist because it's the process of being an artist and trying to be successful is not linear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you don't really know that until you're like in it. You know what I mean? Because there are days you go forward or backwards or up or down or around or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's not really clear how you're gonna get to the destination. And that's always the scary part and the part that I don't think a lot of people realize when people are pursuing music because for the most part, we just only show like the good parts and like when we do
Yeah.
succeed and when we have good moments and stuff like that, but nobody really gets to see like when we do doubt ourselves and when we do, you know, or have times when we don't feel like doing it or we just feel like it's not working or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So I think, just being able to kind of show that is important.
Definitely. Like I think just social media in general, we kind of just see a highlight reel of like
Right.
everyone's success. Like, oh, like nice vacation, new car, new man, like whatever it is.
Right, right.
Like it's like, but you don't see like all those moments of just like self-doubt. And I think that that song just shows how important it is to just like lean on the people who were there from the beginning
Mhm.
and, just keep persevering through it. So.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm. I love that. All right, so we're gonna get to know Nick a little bit more with some rapid fire questions. Okay, so what is your zodiac sign?
Cancer.
Okay, I feel like I knew that. I don't know, sorry. I feel like it was giving Cancer, it was giving like Taurus to me. It was one of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
An artist that you want to collab with in the future.
Um, it was a lot. I got like a whole list on my phone.
Oh wow.
So yeah, yeah, it's funny because I have like a whole entire notes list on my phone of like artists I want to collab with. And as like I'm going through, I just like check them off on my on my phone. So like it's
I
still a
love
long
it.
list, but I'm hoping I get to check stuff off soon. But yeah, definitely like I said, J. Cole, definitely SZA, Smino, definitely Frank Ocean, but that's a stretch for anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like those, yeah, those are like the main people who I always envision. You know, Lucky Day is definitely someone for sure. I mean, because I know he just put out a tweet like recently talking about how you want to collab with more R&B
Yes.
artists and stuff like that. So hoping he catches wind of me soon or something.
Yeah.
So,
No, seriously. Seriously. He needs
yeah.
to. So this is a fun one, I think, but like a brand deal you think that you would want to secure that like matches your image.
Ooh. Okay.
Are
I got a couple. Okay, I got a couple.
you ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. I got a couple. One, okay, so Bojangles. I need Bojangles to come through with the sponsorship because especially me being from North Carolina and just the amount of Bojangles I've eaten in my life, I just feel like it will work out. I like 'cause like how Post Malone do with Canes. I'm
Yeah.
trying to do with Bojangles. So I need
Oh.
that to happen immediately. um,
Yes.
also, maybe like Crunchyroll because I watch a lot of anime. So like
Okay.
probably them. And New Balance because I just love the shoes. Like New Balance are like Vans because I love the shoes. But
Okay.
yeah, those are like the ones that like off the top of my head.
No, I like that. I like that. So who was your teen celebrity crush?
um, okay, so for a minute, I was obsessed with JoJo for like a minute from like when I was like in middle school, like elementary to middle school, I was like obsessed with JoJo.
Uh-huh.
And but then I think growing up, it was Paula Patton for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so those are like my two main ones growing up was JoJo and Paula Patton.
Those are like opposites too.
Exactly. Yeah, two completely different women. But yeah, that was just my bag.
An actor who you would like to play you in a biopic.
uh, I don't know, cause I feel like I don't feel like there's like an actor that I feel like could really, you know, cause what I mean, what am I saying? Like Michael B. Jordan? Like I ain't gonna say Michael B. Jordan. I ain't gonna say like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's funny though, cause on TikTok, I keep seeing comments like people think I look like O'Shea Jackson,
I
Ice Cube son.
was like, yo, I was like, I'm
And
telling
I'm
you, I
like, yo, y'all,
swear.
first of all, stop it.
I swear that
Yeah,
was what
I've
I
been
was
seeing
gonna
that
say.
a little too much. So he probably maybe since like people think that we look alike, probably him. Yeah,
I,
probably.
I swear to you, I was gonna say that, and I didn't see no TikTok. I swear to you, I was like, yo,
It's
yo.
always get like the same like three people on TikTok. They either say I look like him, I look like Anderson Paak, or I look like Chance the Rapper. And I'm just like, y'all gotta picks like just say I look like me.
Yeah,
Like,
no, no, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So what's an album that you'd love to listen again for the first time?
mm, uh, either Blonde,
Oh, yeah.
cause yeah, that's like one of my favorite albums ever, or Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight by Travis Scott.
Uh-huh.
Just because the first time when that came out, I was like with my homies and we were like heavily anticipating that album. And when it dropped, and it's just like I can't forget the moment because we were all at my homie's crib. We were like smoking and listening to the album, and it was so good. Like I just remember being like so good, and I'll
Uh-huh.
never forget that. So like yeah, that probably that album too.
Yeah, no, those are good ones. So what's your favorite album so far this year?
Mm. Um, I really liked the Don Toliver album. I thought that album was really cool.
Yeah, me too.
Um, I thought Tommy Richmond's album was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, what are some other? Those are the ones I can name off the top of my head. Because it's because it's crazy because like I as the more music I make, it's like the less I pay attention to like other like what's dropping like right now. Like you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
I find it harder and harder to like keep up sometimes.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like yeah, those are the ones recently that I've listened to that I really like.
Yeah, no, those are good ones. Those are good ones. I really like Tommy Richmond had like such a big year this year,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's huge. He was everywhere. Like
Yeah,
you
it
couldn't
was
escape
crazy.
him.
Crazy. Yeah, he was cooking. He was cooking.
Yeah. So if you weren't a singer, you would be blank.
um Probably still an artist, but just a different kind. Like probably just be an illustrator or graphic designer, something like that. Probably yeah, doing what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll probably be doing that.
So the last one is one thing that you want to manifest for yourself for this year.
Mm. Uh, for the rest of this year, or like for the upcoming, for like
Yeah, it
next
could
year.
be. Yeah, it could be both. Yeah. Or
Well, okay, so I'm really hoping I can manifest that Dreamville Fest thing. So
yes,
really hope
yes.
I can manifest Dreamville Fest, and then they'll be able to look back on this interview and be like, "Look, he's like he said he was gonna do it." So I'm really hoping I can manifest that. Definitely, I want to start performing more and getting on stage. Like I've been itching to kind of get on stage and kind of do my thing. So um, definitely a lot of that, and just I guess just like more or less just like people just finding out who I am and tapping in and just kind of getting more fans and just more people involved and stuff like that. Just keep building stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, no, yes. We're gonna manifest Dreamville. I didn't go this year, but I went the year before with Drake. It was
Mm,
so good. Like,
crazy.
that
Yeah, I
was
seen the videos. I was like, man, I was like, they got Raleigh looking like it's damn Miami or like it's
yeah.
something. I'm like, damn, like, that's where I live. Like that's crazy. Yeah, need that.
Yeah.
Need
It
that.
was so good. But
Yeah,
it was really nice talking to you,
for
though.
sure, for sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. And we're gonna have all of his links and everything on the official website. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, thank you.